What's up, YouTube? Welcome to our channel. I'm Raph.
And I'm Jess. Tonight we wanted to talk about our experience so far of going through the process of bringing an exchange student into our home.
Yep, so the topics we're going to cover are going through the application process to host an exchange student, meeting your exchange student once everything's approved, meeting their families, bonding with both of them, and the time frame it takes for them to get here once everything has been approved. So let's get this started.
So first I want to talk about our experience so far of going through the process of bringing the exchange student to our home. So first off, we talked to their agency representative and we were curious about bringing the student here. So we had a lot of questions to ask her. We asked questions like what it's like, how the students are, and her personal experiences. So our experience so far has been pretty good. Your experience might not go the same way that ours has gone. I could tell where it would be stressful for some people, but lucky for us, it hasn't really been too stressful for us.
And there's different agencies. There's a lot of agencies. The agency we picked, has been good to us so far. The agency rep has been good to us so far. Your experience might be different. It just depends on, where you are, which agency you go through, and, who your rep is. Everyone's going to have a different experience. We're just going to let you know how our experience is, simply because, going through this process, we've tried to see, new thing, what's out there, try and gather information. Because we're obviously new at this. We've never done this before. It's something that we wanted to try out and, experience for our family, as well as, helping somebody else from a different country. So we wanted to get as much information as we could, and, doing our research through YouTube and everything else, there isn't much you can find nowadays. There's stuff that's probably a year or two old, nothing that is fairly new. So we wanted to do this for those who are interested in doing this, or maybe thinking, hey, I want to try this, but I'm not sure, what the process is, or what to expect, or, what's it like to host, an exchange student. So we're going to talk to you about our experience so far. We're not finished yet. We're about more than halfway through there. We already have a student. We're going to talk about that probably in a part 2 video of this, but right now we want to at least talk to you guys about the process that led up to picking our exchange student and us, talking to her for the first time. Okay, so the application process. Going through our rep, there was questions. There's a lot of questions they're going to ask. It's expected, obviously. Once you get all those applications filled out, they get a lot of information that they need from you. You're going to go through background checks. They're going to call references, at least in our experience they did. Once they finish all of that, they get your information, they verify everything, they check your background, you're good to go, right? You get the green light. Once you get all that finished, the rep calls you. She comes to do a home visit. Okay, they come and check your house, make sure you're good. You have to have certain things for the host student. You have to have a bedroom. You have to have a bathroom and a shower. You have to have a dresser, a closet. I don't think they need to have a closet. I don't think they require a closet, but you at least have to have a dresser or a closet, I believe. They take pictures of the house. You also got to send pictures of your home, as well as your, your family. They want to see what to expect once they get here. And so the more photos you have to show, the better it is, it's going to be for them. And you got to think of it as if you have your own child that was going to a different country. What are the things that you would want to see? So if you think of it that way, you'll have a pretty good idea of, the kinds of pictures and things you want to talk about and show. Through the application process too, there's a lot of writing or typing that you're going to be doing, talking about yourself, talking about your family, the activities you guys like to do, what do the kids like to do, things about yourself. You got to be a pretty, open book, because again, you having someone come stay in your house for half a semester, 10 months, a full year, just depending on where the student's coming from. It could be from 5 months all the way through a full school year. Once you do all that gets submitted. It gets saved onto a file. Once you go through that process, your what do they call them? Agency reps will then send it to their, let's say, supervisor, whoever it may be. They go through everything, make sure that there's nothing missing, that they have all the required materials, in your file that you send off. And once everything gets approved in the end, you get the green light. Now they could send you the students that they have that are just waiting to come over here from, all over the place. We have Mexico, Colombia, Brazil, Germany, Italy, Spain. I mean, there's hundreds of students waiting to come over here, and you get the list. And at that time, there's so many students waiting to come over here. You can narrow it down to where, hey, maybe we're interested in people from, or students from Africa, or we're interested in students from Spain or Germany or Italy or wherever it may be. Or if you're interested in students that may be more active because you're an active family like we are, that's something that you want to express to the area rep. That way she or he can kind of check the boxes, and it narrows it down to the students that may be a better fit for your family. Once you do that, you receive again a whole list of students that seem to be a good fit, and they may be, depending on where they're coming from, they may be here for 5 months, they may be here, is it 8 months or 10 months or something like that? Yeah, all the way up to a full year. Just depends on where they're coming from. It's different for every student. So once you pick your student, you let your area rep know, hey, we like this student. We'd like to host him or her if they're interested in coming here. That your area rep will then place a hold on that student, which means that no other agency or...
The student is placed on hold, so no other family can scoop that student up while you are interested in the student.
Right. So once that happens, in our experience with the agency we're going through, what they do is they then go to the school in the district that you live in, and they do the paperwork for the student to be enrolled into that school. Once that's all completed, it may take a while, just depending on the school system and whatnot. Also, real quick, there are, in our experience now, there are some schools that just aren't accepting students, foreign exchange students right now, simply because they're just overbooked?
They're at capacity.
Yeah, they're at capacity, sure. And they can't accept any exchange students, which, okay, you're at capacity, but you have new people moving into the district or the area every day, but somehow they're able to get, room for those, they're able to get room for those students. I understand they have no choice, but I mean, when you're at capacity, what's another couple students, I guess, but yeah. That's my opinion. Once they're, there's a school that's they're enrolled in, then you got the full green light. It's a go. So after that, the rep sends all of our information to the student's family, and their representatives over there to let them know, hey, you've been accepted by a family, or there's a family that's chosen you. You've also been accepted into the school. They then show the family, including the student, our file, and they go through everything like we talked about earlier. They go through our pictures, everything we wrote about us. They look at our home, they look at their room, they look at everything. And at that point, he or she can decide if they're okay, if they feel comfortable, if they feel like they're a good fit for our family. And if so, we have a connection. It's a go. At that point, that's when the area rep, they contact the area rep. And at that point, that's when they decide, that they'd like to come, let's say in our case here, to do their exchange year, program with us. That's been our experience so far with our student. Once that's happened, and I'll let you go into the next process where we've both been notified that it's a green light, and we then Jess did it first, but she was able to speak with our exchange student pretty much the very next day. It was her mom first, then the exchange student.
For me, I wanted to have some special videos made of our student when she found out about us, so I was able to reach out to her mom first, and we're using WhatsApp to communicate just because it's another country, so you can't really send a text message, and email is kind of hit or miss. So WhatsApp works good for us. So I reached out to her mom on WhatsApp. I introduced myself. I let her know how excited I am that her daughter will be coming to stay with us in our country. And it's a different time zone, so I didn't hear back from her until the next morning. And she was very excited as well. And she did have a video that she sent to me of notifying her daughter and letting her daughter find out that she was picked by our family.
So we do have a recording of that. Her mom did record that for us. And we will be posting it probably in the part 2, or we might even have another separate video on the channel here for you guys to see it. It was a very sweet video. Jess watches it every day. You know, the family, the kids, you know, we all like to see it every day, just, you know, because it's an exciting moment. It's an exciting moment for her family. This is something that she's actually dreamed of doing for a very long time now. And, you know, we're in December right now. So where she's from, they have to start school in January. She's only going to be coming here for half a semester. So it's going to be from January to May. But there is a certain time where she was able to get picked. So there's a time frame. She had to be picked by whatever the date was, or she pretty much just loses her chance of coming over to the U.S. because she would have aged out. The other thing that we learned during this process is their family, they pay quite a bit of money. Depending on where they're coming from, it ranges. I think it ranges from like 5 to 15 grand or something like that. But they're paying quite a bit of money to send their child overseas, and if they don't get picked through that time frame, there's no refunds. Like, you lose all that money, it's gone. And this was just one that we kind of got last minute. We weren't expecting to have one actually in January. We were waiting until next August. So Jess saw the student's file. Then she called me or texted me, I can't remember which one it was, and she's like, hey, did you see the new file of the student that, the rep sent over? And I was like, no, not yet. And Jess is like, you need to look at it. She's like, she seems like she'd be a good fit for our family. And so I took a look at it, and I was like, are you sure you want to do this so quick? Because we're talking within weeks. Like, this is going to happen within weeks. We're going to have an exchange student here. Do we even have the room ready to go? Our schedules are so busy already. Are we going to be ready to go for January? And she says yes. So I looked at it really quick, and I'm like, you know what? I was like, if you feel good about it, let's just go ahead and do it. And I backed her up 100%. Right after that, we all went out to dinner, all as a family, talked to the kids about it, let them know what we were thinking. And a possible exchange student that we may have come next semester in January, and kind of let them know what we saw and what we were reading and everything about her and her family, and the kids were pretty excited about it. So after talking about it for a while and everything, we decided it's probably a good fit. Let's try it out and see how it goes. And then that's when Jess notified the area rep, and pretty much went from there.
Yep. So with all that being said, when you get the student's file in your email, you'll know right away if that student is somebody that you can connect with. Like, when you're reading through their information and you see their family pictures and what they want to do while they're here, and they're about me, their parents write about them, you connect with them mentally. For me, mentally and emotionally at that point. So that's why I was like, you need to read her file. She needs to come here.
And at first I didn't. I was also at work. But at first, no, I didn't read a lot. But after, Jess talked to me, I was like, all right, let me pull it up real quick. So I pulled up the file, and I was like, she probably would be a good fit. She's acted like we are. There's a lot of things that she does that, our kids are doing now, and things that she wants to do now that our kids are doing, on top of, things that she wants to do in school and everything like that. So she really did look like she'd be a good fit. So at that point, again, Jess reached out. She let the area rep know. The area rep then, sent everything over. And right after that, she started connecting. The next day, like she said, with her mom. And at this point, we assumed that they knew something already. because we got the green light to go ahead and contact the family, which we did the next day. So we're kind of here, talking like, hey, introducing ourselves, we can't wait to meet you, and all this and that. And you could kind of tell they were a little shocked, I think, and not quite sure what to say, or they probably weren't quite sure if this was real or not. And after talking a little bit, we found out that they weren't even notified yet. So we still continue to talk, and at least amongst ourselves, we're like, hey, this is what we received. Just we didn't want them to think that we were some fake people, random family just saying, hey, we can't wait to have your dog, something like that. So we did, exchange some paperwork stuff, so at least they felt a little bit more comfortable as far as who we were and, how we had their information and stuff like that. So that was on a Saturday. That Monday, the mom, I think, called, she spoke with someone at the agency there, and at that point, it was either later on that afternoon or the next morning, is when they finally got the confirmation, and our student got her email confirmation where everything was a go, and everything was just, has been great, since that first day we talked. Even then when they were still a little sketchy as far as what was going on, it's been a relationship that's building and getting stronger and stronger every day. We talk to her every day. First thing in the morning, she says good morning or she says hello, vice versa. She talks about, what she's been doing throughout the day, or, we do the same thing. Our daughter talks to her, the kids talk to her, stuff like that. So it's something you really want to do before, your host student gets here. You definitely want to get to know your student, her family or his family, at least have that bond. You would want to see what they do on a daily basis. What kind of activities do they do? What do they do throughout the day, right? Those are things they want to know. It's something that you would want to know as well if your child was going somewhere. So you definitely want to make them feel comfortable and at ease sending their child thousands and thousands of miles away. So which is something that we've been doing quite a bit, and again it already feels like we have a new member of the family, and it's the bond's already there, and it's just going to get stronger and stronger once she gets here. We could already tell. But again, this is our experience. You might have an experience that isn't like that. It might be different. Sometimes the student's a little bit more shy, or they're not sure how to go about the process. I would highly recommend to start talking to your student and the family as soon as you can. So at least they start feeling that comfort feeling. Because right now we only have a few weeks from the time we started up until she gets here, which we still don't have an exact date. We probably know it's going to be the first couple days of January, but we don't have an exact date yet. We have to, you have a small window to get that student comfortable and make them feel welcome as soon as they get off that plane and come see you.
Yeah, by communicating with her on WhatsApp, we've been able to figure out like her bedroom style. That way I can try and incorporate some of the things she likes into her room. I've asked her like what kind of toiletries does she use, because I want to have everything here for her. I know when she gets off of her flight, she is going to be very tired and probably want a nice hot shower and to relax and rest. So I want to make sure that I have everything she needs for her first shower here. I found out what type of tea she likes. So every morning she likes to drink a hot tea. So I'll make sure that I have that tea here for her.
The research of where your student is coming from helps out a lot. And speaking with the family, mom, dad, and the student's going to help a lot. Just like she said, she's getting stuff ready for her room and, bathroom stuff and everything like that. People, where they come from, they may not use toilet paper. They use bidets or, certain other things. So I'm not saying go buy a bidet or anything like that, but it's something to think about, something to be prepared for. You could address that before they get here so they could at least prepare themselves mentally, or you could just wait till they get here and they try to go to the bathroom and like, hey, what are you, and that's, something that we learned through this process, so there's certain countries where they don't use toilet paper, they use bidets. there's a lot, to do that you should do before the student gets here, just to help your family out and to help the student out. It's super important to do that, because if not, you can do like learn as you go type thing, but we like to be prepared. I like to be prepared. I don't like surprises. I'm probably gonna have quite a bit. Once you get through all that stuff, there's still more things that you want to at least be prepared for before the student gets here. You don't want to wait. And this is from us doing our own research. There's certain things, especially going through the school and getting them enrolled in the school and stuff like that. It's not a thing where the area rep, gives the school or hands the school the paperwork and they're like, oh, they're good to go. Like, there's so much more, that goes with that once they're here, and you can't really complete any of that until they're here. But there might be a few things that you could send off to the school to make sure that everything is good, as far as, shots and physical forms and stuff like that she could talk to you about here in a second. But you definitely want to have that stuff, at least looked at or updated before they get here, because if you wait, by the time they get here, it's gonna be a headache. You don't want to wait.
Well, we just found this out by watching other videos. We assumed that she was approved for the school, so she's going to come here and she's going to go to school. She actually is going to have to go and enroll. They need to see her shot records, just like your own children, if you have them. When they start school, they need a school physical, not a sports physical. It has to be a school physical. If they already have that, you can submit the paperwork. If it's in their file that you've seen, you can submit it and see if that's good enough. And if it's not, they'll let you know, so you'll know when your student gets here that she's going to start school within those first few days. So going to the urgent care for a physical is something that will need to happen. Also with that, if they wear glasses or contact lenses and you take them to get a physical, they need to bring those with them, because they will not be able to do their physical if they don't have their vision source. They won't pass that part of the physical.
And that's happened. There's a student that we saw who came to be an exchange student. She did not bring her glasses or contacts. So when she did her eye exam, the doctor's like, she failed. Did she wear contacts or wear her contacts and glasses? And she didn't have them. So she had, I don't know if she had to go get either some other contacts or glasses or something like that. I'm not sure what she did, but somehow she was able to get something for her eyes, come back and pass the eye exam, and she was good to go. The shot records, if they're not updated, this is where it's a good thing to plan ahead, right? Maybe with your school, like with the school where, she's going to be going to now, we're able to at least give the registrar or the counselor, the guidance counselor there, her paperwork and say, hey, are we good here? Are her shot records good for you guys? Is the physical good, or, does she need to have one when she gets here? And if there's something missing, okay, cool. We have time where, hey, they're missing whatever shot this is, go get that before you come, and then get an updated shot form. That way they have it and there's no issues when she gets here. Physical stuff, there's sports physical and regular physical. If she's gonna play sports, I think there are some schools that accept the sports physical as, the regular physical also. You don't have to, because you have to pay for physical, a regular physical, and a sports physical. I think most schools accept the sports physical, so you could just you maybe just make the appointment and say, hey, I just want to do the sports physical. That way you have all that covered in case she is or he is going to play sports. You don't have to worry about going back to do another physical, because it's going to cost some money. Once all that's done and they see it and they're like, yeah, you're good to go, that's one less thing to worry about. Now it's just a matter of waiting for the student to get here, get her adapted to everything, the time, get her used to everything around the house, and then you could take her to the school before she starts and get her schedule ready, pick her out his or her classes, and get to know the school, stuff like that. This is just all stuff that we've learned doing our research that will give you less headaches. If you decide to do it before the student gets here rather than after.
With that being said, if you're wondering how your student will be able to go to the urgent care, are they going to have to pay out of pocket? Are you going to have to pay out of pocket? Every student comes to the U.S. with travel insurance. I'm not sure what the insurance company is at this point, but they are given medical insurance. So if anything should happen while they're here, they have an emergency, they're sick, they have the insurance to cover for the urgent care, ER visits, a hospital stay, whatever it is, they come with that insurance coverage. If it's dental related or pre-existing, that's not covered. So if the student has braces, they'll get their orthodontist checkup before they come, and then they'll just have to be here with the braces how they are until they go back home.
And medications, I don't believe are covered under the insurance. So they do have to pay for their prescriptions, out of pocket. So getting to that point, this isn't something that we're getting paid for. We're not getting paid, by the state or their family or the agency to host a student. This is, we're just loving people, and we want to, help a student who's trying to better themselves. And that being said, this isn't something that we're getting paid to do. We're not getting paid by the agency. We're not getting paid by the state. We're not getting paid by the family. This is just something that, we decided we wanted to do as a family. And we're good loving people. And I'm not trying to sound, weird or whatever about it. It's just, it's something that we decided we wanted to do. And we're not doing it for any other reason other than, just to try and help, another student out from a different country who wants to come to the U.S. and experience our culture. Great. Once they get here, there's like a contract with the agency we're going through. They have to fill out this contract and, read a bunch of stuff and all this other paperwork that they have to sign. When they get here, again, like I said earlier, they're paying, I'm not sure exactly, what our students' family's paying for. It's none of my business. But they're paying, I know, from the information we gather, they're paying between $5,000 and $15,000 just to get here, to get the process going and, hopefully get with the host family. Once they get here through our agency, their family has to send them a minimum of $300 every month, for food or any clothes or, snacks, whatever it is that they might get. We're not, obligated to buy their food or, buy them clothes or anything like that. We do have to help provide 3 meals a day, which they can purchase, and we can either cook for them or they can cook themselves, whatever it may be. But we don't have to buy them pretty much anything. We're providing our house, and that's about it. We're not the kind of family that's like that. I'm not saying we're gonna go buy her everything she wants, but we definitely, we've been lucky throughout our time, and we've been blessed with everything. So we like to share that experience as well, and that's our experience. That's the agency we're going with, or we're going through. Other families are different. They may, take in their student and be like, hey, we're gonna go do this, we're gonna go do that. It costs us this much money. If you want to go, cool. You're more than welcome. And some families, just can't do that. So we're lucky enough that we can, and we probably will. But we already have stuff planned out that we're going to be doing, and it all depends on how well you guys all mesh. We've become pretty close, I would say, with her and her family. That very, very quickly. And there's things that we've already planned on both sides, and as weird as it sounds, that's just how it is. Going through this experience so far, we've learned that it's one of the things everyone should try and do. It's something that you and your family are never going to forget, especially the kids. The kids are going to grow up knowing someone from a different country, their culture, and who knows, one day we might go over there and experience the other side. That's just something that we may see down the line.
We will, not a might.
Yeah.
We're going. I'm
sure we will at some point. But again, this has been our experience so far. We do have the video of when she received her notice from her mom. We are going to post that. We'll probably just post a separate video on the channel for you guys to see. And once we're going to have a part 2 to this. If you guys have any questions, anything else you guys might want to know that we haven't covered yet, there's so much to go through. We're going to do another part 2 to this video because we still are waiting for her date when she gets here. We're going to be doing a room tour.
I need to go shopping, so I'll definitely bring you guys along with me for that. That'll be fun.
Yeah, so we're gonna do all, you know, a lot of that kind of stuff, and that's just some things that our student has talked to Jess about, you know, of things that she likes. And this isn't anything that she's asking for.
No.
Yeah, this is something we're just doing out of the good of our hearts to make sure that she's comfortable once she gets here. Because it's something that's, you know, going to be obviously really nerve-wracking and scary once you get here and you don't know anybody. You definitely want to have your student feel like he or she's a part of the family. So, and we've, you know, been doing that, and she's definitely going to have, you know, she's going to feel like she's at home when she gets here, you know. And you guys will be able to see all that too. That way you guys maybe will get some ideas, and if you guys are planning on doing it, you can see it, you know, see our experience, and maybe that's going to help you guys do, you know, make your decision or whatever it may be. There's a few other things that we're going to be talking about in a part 2 to this. So as we get closer to knowing her arrival date and knowing when she's going to get here, we're going to do the part 2, and you know, you're going to be able to see. We're going to try and do a video chat with her through WhatsApp, where, you know, we at least hopefully all get to talk to her and her mom and her dad, her brothers, you know, everything that, you know, at least we can see each other through video chat, you know, because we're not in person, obviously. So, you know, we're going to try and do a video so you guys can see that as well, and then do a separate video after that on her arrival date and, you know, her first day here, her first night here in the U.S. So stay tuned for that.
You'll also get to see the video of when she arrives, because that's an important moment that we'll definitely catch on camera at the airport.
Right, meaning right off the plane, you know, there's, you know, with exchange students through the program, they say, you know, do the big banners thing. You want to, you know, you want to make a big banner. You want to make them feel, you know, very welcome, and you know, it's exciting for them. So they say the first meet sets the tone for, you know, the whole semester, the whole, you know, school year when they get here. So you definitely want to make that a good experience. You want to make it very exciting, because again, it's, you know, in our case with our student, it's something that she's been waiting for a very long time. It's her dream, you know. So we want to make sure she has that good experience for something that she's been wanting for so long. So stay tuned for all of that, because it'll be coming here soon. So we'll leave it there. You know, again, if there's anything else you guys want to know that maybe we didn't cover, just, you know, shoot us a message, comment down below. This will help out with anything we might not have covered or missed that, you know, we could put in our part 2 video. Again, thank you guys for watching this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. All right, and we'll see you guys again. See ya.
Yeah.